Okay, guys. This is my video on a few tips on how to be successful, potentially, if you're starting up an internet radio station. Basically, I failed. I had a number of ideas, and I just thought I'd let you share my thoughts on why I think I failed and what potentially you should be thinking of at the very outset. I mean, my logic was that I wanted to be a radio DJ, and I figured that no one was ever going to hire me, um, and so I thought I'd set up a radio station myself, internet based. Um, so I went about and I looked it up on YouTube. There's hundreds of videos on how to set yourself up as a radio DJ on the internet, and bought quite a lot of equipment. Bought mixers and microphones and wires and cables and sound cards and um, loads of different things. And but basically, was kind of where I was going wrong at the very outset. I believe, and that was find yourself a partner at the very outset who wants to do it with you, to start with, because you cannot manage a 24-hour radio station on your own. It doesn't matter if it's a local station. It doesn't matter if it's just going to be. I mean, if you just want to have a playlist of songs that you never touch and you never, and you can just click a button and you're happy to do that, potentially that is possible. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have talk. I wanted to have storytelling. I wanted to have music, and a whole range of different people on the station. But as I say, that was where I went wrong, first of all, because I was trying to do it all on my own, and ultimately I was setting myself up to fail. So my top tip, first of all, is to find somebody or others. It could be 3 or 4, 5, 6 people that want to set up an internet radio station, and that way you've got people to bounce ideas off. You've got a group to work with, and you've got. But this is before you even buy a wire or a mixer or anything. Team up with people, find people who want to do it, and that way you can share the knowledge of how to set it up, and you can build together and work out where you want the radio station to go. So that was my first tip, really. Work together, or find somebody or others who are like-minded and want to become radio DJs. Also, I think as well, I think the reason why I failed, I mean, I had so many ideas. I'm like an idea person, so I'll come up with an idea and then follow it through as best as I can, but then I'll move on to the next one, the next idea that I had. So what happened with me was I started off wanting to be a talk radio station, and then I moved into music. And of course, with the music, you've got the licensing, copyright problems. You've got to be on the ball with how you pay the fees, the music licensing royalty fees. I mean, that's a full-time job doing that alone. If you know, so there's that aspect to it. But yeah, I mean, as I say, I kind of went into it on my own and realised that it was going to be quite a project. But that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy what I was doing, and I learned a lot from it. As I say, the shortcomings are as what I'm sharing with you today. So I think having a clear perspective at the outset as well in terms of where you want to go with the radio station is really important, so you don't get sidetracked. Is it going to be a niche radio station? Is it going to be sort of 80s, 90s? Is it just going to be talk? Is it going to have guests? Is it going to do news? Is it going to do local news? Um, and Yeah, so but that sort of ties in with a name as well. So if you can be clear on the name, it'll save you a lot of money on buying domain names when you change them, when you find that you change your mind and you want to do something different. So spend a lot of time within that group that you're working with on a good name and a direction that you're going to stick to. Because if you don't, you'll find out you'll end up like me, trying to do everything and trying to be everything and not achieving anything at all. So those are a few pointers really in terms of my thoughts on running an internet radio station. I think there's another point I'd like to add is that you can go to town on spending thousands on the latest products, making your voice sound perfect, tweaking your voice, things like that. And these are great, and I'm not knocking them. And it's fantastic they're there and that they exist. But you don't. It's the content is the most important thing. As I say, it's what you're putting out there. It doesn't have to be the perfect sound, so don't get bogged down or worried or dismayed that you haven't produced the quality that you're after. I think people are going to understand that if you're an internet radio station, you're pretty independent. You're probably not going to be making much money, and people are generally supportive. From the 2 or 3 stations that I set up, the most successful was the local station in my hometown, and I got an awful lot of interest from people wanting to be on the show, from sort of old people's homes, so they wanted to share their stories. I thought that was a really good idea, but as I say, I wasn't ready for it. I was on my own and doing outside broadcasts and the equipment that you need and all the expenses that you need to keep paying out. I sort of buckled a bit and I sort of said, just I'll get back to you on it. But yeah, so as I say, even for those local stations, those in a small town with say 10,000 people, you're still going to need at least another partner and possibly 3, maybe even 4 people doing it with you to make it a success. As I say, I think as well the other big major stumbling block for an internet radio station these days is the amount of online music out there already at people's fingertips. People can choose what they want to listen to just by entering it in a keyboard or on their phone. So in order to make the internet radio station that you're trying to build attractive, it's really hard, especially if you're getting into music. So there's an awful lot of competition, and it's a serious undertaking to get it first off the ground, and secondly for anybody who's going to listen to you. But that's not to say it's not impossible. There's a lot of internet radio stations out there that are quite popular and have existed for a number of years, and but again, you could probably name. I probably couldn't even name 2 or 3 that exist compared to the giants, the media giants out there. So I don't want to put you off. I don't want to, kill your dreams. But I'm just sharing what I found from my experience of building an internet radio station. I hope you succeed. If you're looking for any more help or advice, just leave me a message on the comments. And if you like my video, like and subscribe. Cheers, guys. Take care.